Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it's night out, but I don't give a damn. We still gotta bring people that are breaking and stomping the grounds. Today we feature, call her an accessory making machine, a gigantic jeweler.
What else?
She's kicking down doors with what she's bringing to the table, ladies and
You
gentlemen.
did.
Let the people
I
know
like
who you
this.
are.
I
Talk
like
to them.
this.
Talk to them.
Hey y'all, my name is Georgina. You can find me as simply Georgina on Instagram, and my
Lovely,
brand
lovely.
is Grise.Nyc. It's Grise. A lot of people say Grease or G-Rise, which is also different, but it's
Okay.
Grise.Nyc. If you know, you know.
Lovely, lovely. Take
Thank
a walk
you.
with me. Take a
Yeah,
walk
sure.
with me.
Let's take a
walk with me.
stroll. Let's take a stroll. What's up?
Dominican
Yes,
and
sir.
Nigerian.
The mix.
Come on
We
now.
mixy.
Green, white,
We
green
mixy.
with
Yup.
the habichuelas con queso.
Hey,
Hold
habichuela
on now.
con arroz, habichuela con
Sheesh.
queso. Okay.
Talk to me. How did these two cultures shape you as a person growing up?
First thing is family.
Gotcha.
Both definitely super family oriented.
Okay.
I unfortunately, when growing up, my father passed away. So
Sorry
when
to
I was
hear.
2 years old, he
Okay.
passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
So I mainly grew up with my Dominican descent. But I
Okay.
will say, as I got older, maybe when I was like around my 20, I actually met my father's sister aunt
Wow.
in Texas. I went to her birthday party,
Okay.
and that's where I felt the connection. I was like,
Gotcha.
definitely family. I
Gotcha.
felt embraced. I felt loved. So for sure, I think growing up, both has definitely been family, love,
Gotcha.
support, genuine too, genuine,
Gotcha.
no questions asked, you know,
Perfect.
and community, because
Gotcha.
that it all
Ties
ties
together,
together.
word.
Exactly. Yeah.
Got it. So I did my research, madame. You're from Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Say
You-
with your chest.
Massachusetts. You came down to the Big Apple.
Yes,
Talk
sir.
to me about what brought you down here and
Sure.
any major differences, any dislikes, any likes. Talk to me about
Yeah,
that.
for sure. So I actually came out here for college. I went to Parsons. I studied strategic design and management. I graduated with my BBA.
Okay.
So that's what brought me here
Gotcha.
full time. I've stayed here just because for me, I love the city. I love being around people.
Okay.
Springfield, Mass. It's city, but it's smaller, so it's very quaint. So it's
Okay,
more
okay.
suburbia.
Gotcha.
But I love that I had access to the city. So when I was younger, I was born here. I just didn't grow up here. And the reason moving away was because after my father passed away, I'm the youngest of 7. So
Okay.
naturally, my mother couldn't. New York is
Hold it. I
expensive.
feel you.
Exactly.
I
So
got
Springfield
you.
was the next move. Graduated in 2014. I've been out here for 10 years.
Okay.
Well, 14 years if you add it all up.
Gotcha.
And so yeah, I've been out here. Differences for sure. Springfield's super quiet, not city. When back then, when I was growing up, fashion wasn't a thing. Now, because of music and because people, social media in general, like we have more access, so people can
Yeah.
get swag if they want to. They don't
Gotcha.
necessarily have to It doesn't have to necessarily come from them initially. They could be an influence. Not
Gotcha.
saying that's the case, but
Yeah.
in general, you see a difference 10 years ago. I love New York. I'll always be a New York girl. But I will always claim Massachusetts. I never changed my license. Just because I like to, surprise people a
Flipping
little
back
bit.
in the-
You
got
know what
you,
I mean?
got you,
And I'm
yeah.
never fake. We always keep it jiggy, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
So
right.
I'm always rep where I came from.
Bad. Shout out MH. Before we jump into the brand, let's talk a little bit about yourself. Did my research. Madame, power forward in high school, huh?
Yes, sir.
Talk to me. She was swishing and dishing before she was making the jewelry,
I
man.
totally was.
So talk to me about this.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the hooper life. What
Yeah.
drew you towards basketball?
Sure.
What made you like the sport, and what made you play the sport?
The youngest of 7, so for me growing up, I had 4 brothers. They all played ball.
Gotcha.
So growing up, I naturally, you're the youngest sibling, you want to do what your siblings do.
True,
So I wanted to play ball.
Okay.
My brother, who was actually, he's here,
Okay.
he taught me my crossover, my headsy, and my other brother, Sean, and they both played abroad too.
Word?
My other brother, Sean, he taught me my jump shot, so I
Okay.
have form and all that.
All right.
And even so, my whole family, one of my cousins, he was a Globetrotter. He, Orlando Antigua, he used to be assistant coach at Kentucky with Calipari. He's now at Illinois. He's an assistant coach at Illinois.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're
Yeah.
using your ears, that means baloncesto, basketball, it's flowing through her veins, ladies and
Naturally.
gentlemen.
I'm a ball player. I haven't played in a minute, but if you're
Okay.
a real ball player, you don't have to
It
play.
never
It
goes.
never
Yup.
fades,
You
know, so.
All right.
Let's play. We
Fire.
gotta play, actually.
Ladies and I hear this all the time.
Nah, okay.
Have you seen my clips? Do you know what I do?
I have seen it, and what I'm saying is, if you want to be on the winning team, we on the same team.
Oh, I like that. I like
It's not no
that. Okay.
competition.
So
we
if
on
you
the same
can't
team.
join them, beat them. I mean, if you can't beat them, join them.
'em.
So you can't beat me. So you gotta
Can you
join?
beat me?
Ooh.
All right, it goes both ways. It goes both ways.
I love it. Made a point of people mispronouncing the brand name.
Yeah.
Talk to me. I mean, I personally know what it stands for and the importance of it. But for those that are out there, what does the brand name stand for? How do you pronounce it? And why is the brand name so near and dear to you?
Yeah, his brand name is Grise. It's short for Grisé.Nyc, which is my mother's name. My mother, my everything. She's my angel. She passed away from liver cancer 6 years ago, and so for me, I wanted to just honor her in my own way. I grieved a little bit, so I actually started the brand in 2016. I didn't launch until last year.
Wow.
And that just shows like time can pass, but like always stay true to what you want to do and get done. It took 6 years. Yes, I was mad at myself because I'm like, you had to get it done, but honestly, everything happens for a reason.
Big time.
And
Big time.
I just went with it. I gave myself grace. I lost my mother. I grieved a lot. She was the first loss I ever had. I think I was like 23 when that happened.
Wow.
So for me, I didn't know how to deal with loss. And I had to process the loss. And then I finally was just like, you know what, let me get this brand out, because I, at the time, was going through like a career change. I used to do personal shopping and styling. And so for me, I was like, should I be a buyer? And then I'm like, you know what, no, like, I kind of want to do my own thing. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. My mother was an entrepreneur. So for me, I always wanted to own my own, you know? I was thinking of, I always knew I wanted to do Grise. I always wanted to do the jewelry. It just kind of happened where I was like, okay, let me start working on the collection. Let me start, getting my samples. And then I actually launched last year on her death anniversary. January 20th, 2023 was when I launched my brand. So it's been a year. We're about to hit 2 years. And it's just dear to my heart because for me, I really wanted to honor my mother. Like, I am me because of her. She was such a sweet human where it was just like so giving. Like, she touched everybody she spoke to in a positive way. And so for me, it was just like her spirit had to continue on. So a lot of the pieces in the collection remind me of her. Like the statement pieces, the pearls, the gold. Reminds me of her growing up. She was very much like powerful woman, boss woman with the two-piece blazers. Like she looked very well put together. And then in general, the brand is a mix of me. I'm super streetwear. I played ball, so I have the tomboy but girly edge to me. So then the brand itself is a mix between me and her. And for me, it's longevity that I want to, have her live on after me. So that's why I started my brand. For me, it's how I stay close to her, and when you do learn what the brand is about, it just helps me connect to other people that have dealt with loss, and they understand what I'm going through. It's a connector in a way, because we all like style, we all like fashion, and just like my pieces, how they last over time, my her legacy is lasting. So
Perfect. Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Beautiful. So there's a million things in the world.
Yeah.
You could have been an RN. You could have been a CEO at a company, suit and tie.
Right.
What made you and what drew you towards making your stamp in jewelry and accessories?
Sure. So for me, I love style. I love, accessorizing. I've always been into accessories.
Gotcha.
And when I was younger, obviously, like, I learned how to get a job and then like buy what I like, right? So I would, as anybody starting out, right, you buy things that might not last, or you buy things where the metals aren't the best. So for me, I wanted to create items that actually have longevity, so I'm very intentional with the materials that I use.
Gotcha.
I wanted to do jewelry for that reason, because I feel like it's a staple. It's something that you're always thinking about.
True.
And being that I wanted my brand to live on, I'm like, okay, what can live on throughout time, right?
Gotcha.
So jewelry naturally, over time, it could be timeless, classic, So yeah, I went through jewelry, and for me, it's also something that I always saw my mom wear and always accessorize and layer. So it just made sense when I decided to do that. And then for me, it was more so like, okay, What materials am I using? Because like I said, I want to make sure that they're durable. Exactly. So I actually started to, when I did sampling, I bought so many different types of styles just to see like what I liked. I curated my first collection, and then I moved into more so designing so that I could bring my own element to my brand. And then I just decided like, let me start. I wanted to go massive. I wanted like 100-piece collection, and it was crazy because my boyfriend was like, "You just need to start it, just like make it super quaint and like get it out there, because like you just have to start, you know." So that's what I did when I launched last year. I did like a super small collection, but it actually went really well. And then I just started from there.
Now we're here.
No, literally now we're here. And it's crazy to see the growth from last year to now. Even like to know the many pieces that I had on my table from the first time to now. So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Some people out there might think, oh, she's just buying jewelry and reselling it. What you're doing is a piece of cake. Talk to the people about the difficulties that you face, the challenges, the ups and downs.
Honestly, first things first, just staying consistent. That's like one of the biggest things, because sometimes I wake up and I don't want to do anything. Like I'm tired, I'm exhausted, because I do this full time now. So for me, my weekends consist of doing pop-ups where I'm talking to people all day, which I love, don't get me wrong, but it gets tiring because it's so much energy. But like I said, I love it. But when you know, like generally speaking, like when you talk to people all day, like that's tiresome. So like sometimes after that, honestly, I give myself grace like the next day, just because I'm like, I'm not going to get mad at myself, because I am doing what I want to do. I'm following my dreams, you know? But definitely the consistency, staying motivated is tough. And being your biggest cheerleader, because sometimes you can feel like, damn, you know, like I'm not where I want to be. You know, or you start to compare yourself, because that happens all the time too. Like you could see people where it's like that's where you want to be, but you can't compare yourself, because you're you, and we all have our own journey, and we all have our own site map. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, it's just remembering to stay consistent, staying true to myself, giving myself grace, not getting mad at myself if I don't get something done. I do prioritize. So like if there's something I have to get done, I will get it done. But like if it's something where it's not as urgent and I could give myself a little time, like I give myself grace. Also just like staying creative, staying inspired. Like it's hard sometimes, because you also see a lot of people not mimicking, but like you guys can have the same ideas, because we're all creative, right? And it's crazy. You could see someone have a similar idea. You never talk to them, but they could have had, you know what I mean? And I see that all the time, especially with jewelry and other brands that do jewelry. It's hard to set yourself apart. So for me, that's why I'm streetwear. I played ball, so I have that tomboy little edge, and I have unisex pieces because I do cater to men. I'm not just female brand. You know, so for me, I think that's how I geared myself to stand apart from other jewelry brands, because it's not super girly. You know, like there's an androgynous standpoint to it, where like you have to have style. You know what I mean? Like you could get to someone else outside looking in, it could look feminine, but if you have style and the confidence to wear it, a man could wear it totally. And that's what I love. I love, honestly, when men approach my table, because it lets me know I'm doing something right, because I'm a girl with a jewelry brand, and something is resonating with them, you know? So I definitely say motivation, staying consistent, and also just not getting in your own way, you know?
There's countless other jewelry brands. If I go down the list, we'll be here till tomorrow, catching Z's. But tell me, why should people gravitate towards Grise.Nyc?
Yeah, I mean, number one, just the durability of my pieces. They don't tarnish. So I'm very intentional with the materials that I use. Stainless steel is the best base. It's the most durable metal in general. So like you could shower, you could wash your hands if you have rings on. They do not tarnish. And I'm very intentional. So when I first launched, I actually wore everything prior to releasing, so I knew how it wore. And then just to ensure, you know, quality. Also, just like I said before, just having unisex pieces, it's not just a female brand, so it's something for everyone, you know, and also very affordable. I'm not selling you things that cost like $200. You don't have to think about, damn, am I about to buy food or am I going to get this piece? It's super affordable. And I also even offer the 4 payments, so Klarna, Affirm, Afterpay, Shop, pay. So you could check out
A
with the 4
jeweler
easy
for
payments.
the people, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
because I also
Okay.
think with me as a brand owner, I think about how I want to be treated and how I want to shop.
Very
So
true.
sometimes I do personally use Klarna and Afterpay just
Gotcha.
because I'd rather be able to buy more up front than have to spend $200 on this and then
feel you.
like how else am I gonna what am I gonna do throughout the month?
True.
So yeah, for sure, I think definitely just being affordable. The metals that I use is just super durable, and you're gonna have my pieces forever. That's one thing. When you buy from me, it's quality. It's quality and it's longevity. So you're not paying to just have something for the season. You're gonna have stuff for a year, 2 years, 3 years,
That's what it's about.
forever.
That's what it's about.
And for me too, I love feedback, so always tell me how your things wear. I even recently just had a girl tell me she had her nails done. They were so long she couldn't take off her necklace 2 weeks and nothing happened to her necklace. Yeah,
that's crazy.
So for me, I love having feedback because it also helps me and to ensure that what I preach is what you're getting. And I'm very big on that.
Fire. Scrolling through your page, but not only that, first time coming to your table, there was a statement piece that not a lot of people, jewelers, whatever the case may be, brand owners do. The Jordans.
Yeah.
I'm looking at your old pics, Jordans.
Yep.
I'm looking at your table, Jordans with jewelry.
Yep.
Talk to me about your love for the Jordan 1s, the 2s, the 3s.
Yeah,
Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so naturally, like I said, I grew up playing basketball, so I played ball. I always had Jordans. I did have LeBrons. I forgot the name, the make of them. But for me, I'm a sneakerhead. I want to stay true to me and my brand, and that's the essence that you get with Grise. And then for me, like I said earlier, with how do I set myself apart? A lot of jewelry brands, they've been doing like the food editorials with the jewelry and stuff. And I'm like, for me, like easy to replicate, but like that's not me. So I started doing sneaker art with my sneakers that I own with the jewelry. So again, it's my aesthetic, it's my brand. And I'm like, if I see people starting to do it, I know where it started from because I have not seen anybody do that. I haven't seen even brands do it. So I'm like, and for me, it's also like I do have my own brand, but I freelance. I wanna partner with and collab with the brand reps of the Jordan. Even I love New Balance, Reebok. Like I'm a sneakerhead naturally. I love design. I love quality. So for me, it made sense to incorporate sneakers into my display and make it happen, make it me. So yeah, that's kind of why I started to do the sneaker layout with it.
Sneaker brands, give her a call.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
With all this that you're doing, jewelry, accessories, community, talking, touching people's lives, what is your end goal and what mark are you trying to leave with this brand?
My end mark is just to inspire people and influence people to follow their dreams, because if I can do it from the ground up, anybody could do it. It just takes dedication, it takes consistency, and it really does take dedication and consistency. You can't half-ass it, because at the end of the day, you got to work for yourself, and nobody's gonna put your brand up there as you would. You got to do it yourself. I wanna influence and inspire people to follow their dreams and get stuff done and stay consistent and be true to themselves and be real with themselves. If you're not dedicating time to your craft, and I say this, I'll just give an example as to how I got to where I got. I worked at a production company. I was a manager there. I worked crazy long hours. I'd be the first person there, the last person leaving. But for me, anything I do, I put my heart, because it's a reflection of me. So my work ethic is everything. So I do go hard. I used to go super hard for the company I worked for. And in general, that's me, right? So I knew I wanted to start my brand, so what did I do? Even though I was working those crazy long hours, I still put time aside for me to start my brand. And so even if I was working 10-hour days, so that I wasn't consumed by my day job, my 9 to 5, which I'm sure a lot of creatives, you know what I'm talking about. At least give yourself an hour to dedicate to yourself, at least so that you have baby steps working towards what you want to do. So for me, and this is super helpful, it was, if I'm not getting things done daily, because then you get overwhelmed and you get mad at yourself if you don't complete them, give yourself the week, and then you could take a day or two off. But as long as you get it done by the week, and if even that's too much, what do you have to get done by that month? So it's like, do what works for you, but again, you just got to keep moving and you got to do something. I'm here because I did that. I literally was working full time. Now I'm not. I'm grateful enough where I'm blessed and I'm able to support myself with my brand. But it took the blood, sweat, and tears. Like, it got to the point where my boyfriend would tell me, go to sleep, like,
Wow.
rest. And I'm like, nah, I got to get this
Gotta
done.
get it
Like,
done.
because I can sleep later. But you have to have that hunger to get it done. And
Got
you
it.
can't rely on other people to get it done.
Big
you have to
time.
rely on
Big
yourself to get it done.
Big time.
And I always say, if you're not willing to do that, then you're not willing to get your dream off the ground, you know? And but what I say, you got to be real with yourself. If you're not real with yourself, like, it's honestly not going to work. And honestly, it's just all talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, another great brand, another great brand
you.
owner.
Thank you.
I remember the first time I met her at the table, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, you couldn't even breathe around the table. It was flooded.
Blessed. I'm
So
blessed.
many customers. I'm like, what's going on here? Till the very end, I was able to get some wiggle room. And even at
Right.
that, people were still trying to get some pieces.
Right.
But what I noticed was a great person with a kind heart.
Thank you.
A great person with a great brand, and these are the kind of people that I want to put on the platform to elevate,
Thank
to
you.
get more eyes. We've got the Louis V, we got the Gucci, like I always say. What are these people doing for us? Are they touching our communities? In what ways and how? Like I said again, these are the people that we should be looking for.
Thank you.
These are the people that we should be supporting. Happy birthday, madame.
Thank you. Hey,
I'm happy
November
you was
2nd.
Shit. It's a Scorpio world, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
Chairman.
World. Yep.
Anything you want to end the viewers off with?
No, yeah, for sure. If you're creative, if you're someone that wants to start your own thing, just get it done. You're the only person standing in your way. If you think about it, as humans, we all want to achieve the same thing. We want love, we want success, we want happiness, we want longevity, right? So we're not as different as we all think. And so I say this: get it done. Write your to-dos down. If it's not weekly, make it monthly. And make yourself accountable, but also give yourself grace. And you can do it. If I can do it, just stay dedicated. And I know you can do it too. And also, hit me up. I love helping people. I love just being a support person, just because, like, for me, I figured it all out myself. But I'm also happy to help people that don't have the resources. You know what I mean? Because
Gotcha.
for me, my mother, she always, the last thing before she passed away, she told me always give back. And I'm going to live by that. And yeah, so hit me up, Simply Georgina. My brand is Grise.Nyc. Please pronounce it right. Please add the accent on that, because if I was Beyonce, you do it too. So think about that. Food for thought. Think about that.
Sprinkle.
You know, like a little think about that.
Yep.
But yeah, in general, stay blessed, stay true to yourself, and follow your heart, follow your dreams. You'll get it done.
Lovely.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem.